Hey, welcome to Pin Your Income with Pinterest. And in this introduction video, I just want to go over a few pretty cool stats with you about Pinterest. If you're not familiar with Pinterest, we're going to get into more detail about what Pinterest is, what kind of social network it is, and how you can make money with it. But for now, let's just look at a few cool, interesting statistics about Pinterest. So according to Fortune magazine, Pinterest is the fastest growing website ever. Okay, Pinterest gets over 12 million monthly unique visitors. And according to Time magazine, Pinterest is in the top 5 of social networks, which is interesting because Pinterest is a site and a social network that's not really that well known. If you ask a lot of people about Pinterest, they probably can't tell you much about it, unlike Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. They say the average user spends over 98 minutes a day on Pinterest. Okay, I'm pretty sure that that's right up there with Facebook, right up there with YouTube. Maybe not YouTube, you're watching videos, but I'm pretty sure that's right up there with Facebook. So any links that you get from Pinterest to your site are considered do follow links. Okay, so they're do follow page rank 6 links. Okay, this is going to help with your website's search engine optimization. Okay, so like other social media, Pinterest is great for search engine optimization if you can get a lot of follows and people responding and looking at your stuff. And Pinterest engages users twice as much as Twitter did at its age. Okay, so not only are they growing rapidly, but they're growing faster than Twitter did and Facebook did at their ages. Not only are they growing, but they're growing faster than Twitter did. And in March 2012, Pinterest registered 17.8 million users, and according to ComScore, that's a 52% jump in just 1 month. Okay, so in February 2012, Pinterest drove more traffic to websites than Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn, and YouTube combined. Okay, so more traffic from Pinterest than all of these social media combined. So by now your ears should be perking up a little bit, and if you don't know much about Pinterest, you should probably be wanting to pay attention here. So Pinterest was recently valued at a reported $200 million. Okay, so unless you're planning on buying Pinterest, that really doesn't help you. But just knowing this information should get you motivated to at least learn more about Pinterest and maybe try your hand at getting followers and utilizing the social media. I mean, it's really good to get in, from the ground level. Now, Pinterest has been around for around 4 years. But it's just one of those that's, it's caught fire with a good demographic and a good amount of people, but it's still not quite to that level of oversaturation. So there's still a lot of potential with Pinterest. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how to go to Pinterest and start your account. So we'll see you in the next video. Okay, welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get your Pinterest account created. And right here we are at Pinterest.com. As you can see, it's really just an online pin board where people post pictures and then other people can respond. People can follow you, they can look at your pictures. It's kind of like Twitter, except for pictures, okay, instead of just regular posts. So kind of Twitter took away the aspect of Facebook. Twitter kind of has basically just status updates that people can follow. Well, Pinterest is essentially just images and videos that people can follow. So it's pretty innovative, all right? But it's kind of just copying another social network. So if you're ever thinking about maybe creating your own social network, I mean, look at what the most popular people have done. It's been stuff like this, okay? It's pretty interesting how something like Pinterest can catch fire when there's already a Facebook and a Twitter. Okay, so something just to keep in mind for the future, kind of arbitrary. Just wanted to mention it. But here you can see, you can select your language. You can learn more about Pinterest here. You can read their terms of service, which are going to be very important when you're trying to market on Pinterest. Make sure you go and read all those. You just click here and gives you a whole sharing your content, Pinterest content, using Pinterest, okay? They have their own rules and regulations like any other network. So to protect your account from ever getting banned or anything like that, just make sure you check it out. And then here, you can see at the top, you can search by category. Okay, so you can come down and choose food or drink, gardening, products. You can check out videos. You can look at the popular pins. and they also have GIFs. So the one thing that's different about Pinterest than any other social network that I've seen is that you have to request an invite to Pinterest. Okay, somebody has to invite you that's already in Pinterest. So all you do is come here, click request an invite. Okay, and then you'll just put your email in here and then just click request invitation. Okay, so once you do this, it can take a couple days. You'll get an invitation. But, most people have a friend or somebody on Facebook or somebody that you know that's in Pinterest. Just have them send you an invitation. That's what I did. Just a buddy of mine who's really into this kind of stuff sent me an invitation, and all of a sudden, I'm accepted. And it's not really that big of a deal. You can just go on Facebook and, just put a message up on your wall that says, hey, is anybody on Pinterest? Send me an invite, and it'll happen. So either way, you can request an invitation here from the homepage, or you can just, just ask one of your friends to invite you. Pretty simple. Okay, so in the next video, I'm going to go over some Pinterest definitions with you and talk about some of the Pinterest lingo so you can kind of navigate yourself around the site. All right, and we'll see you in the next video. Okay, welcome back. In this video, we're just going to talk about some Pinterest definitions so you can speak the Pinterest lingo and you'll know what's what when you're on the site. So the first definition is pins. So pins are just a bookmark with an image or video, and then you can pin from a website, from a URL, and from your computer. Okay, so you can pull an image from a website, you can use an image URL, or you can just upload an image from your computer. Pretty much like Facebook, when you want to put your profile picture on there, you can pull a picture from your computer or URL. It's really like any other website, but that's what a pin is, just a bookmark with an image or video. And then boards are a collection of pins, so multiple pins. And then contributor boards are basically a way for people to contribute to your pins. The dollar sign. Okay, so by adding a dollar or pound sign to your pin, you ensure that your pin will show up in the gift section. Okay, so if you're trying to sell, then you want to put the dollar sign on your pin. And then profiles. You want to make sure to add a good picture of yourself and keyword optimize your profile. Okay, pictures are always good. Make sure it's a picture of you or your company logo. Just make sure it's a picture of you or your company logo, and then put the keywords you want to rank for in your profile. Okay, so if you're trying to rank for internet marketing, then use that somewhere in your profile. And then repins. Okay, repins are sharing other people's pins with your followers. Okay, so it's just like Twitter. You can retweet. Okay, if you like a post somebody sent or a tweet somebody sent, you can retweet that, and that'll share it automatically with your followers. You can repin in Pinterest, and that'll share other people's pins with your followers. And then likes, you can like a pin and not repin it. Okay, so you can just share it. Okay. So pretty similar to Facebook. So you see how they've taken kind of the most popular features from Facebook and kind of created their own little spin of it. Okay, very creative. And then comments, you can comment on pins as well. Okay, so just like on Facebook, you can comment on somebody's status or somebody's picture. You can comment on people's pins. And then a hashtag is a number symbol, and like with Twitter, you can add searchable tags to pins so people can find more great pins like yours. So if you put a hashtag with if you put the hashtag internet marketing on a pin, then it's most likely going to show up in the internet marketing category, which is another term. Categories I showed you on the homepage previously are basically just categories based on whatever niche you're looking to see pins in. And then the @ symbol, you can suggest a pin to another user. Okay, think power users. If they repin, it could equal mass traffic. Okay, so if you have a pin that you want to suggest to somebody that has a lot of followers, also known as a power user, then use the @ symbol, and that will suggest a pin to another users. And that could bring you a lot of traffic. Alright, so in the next video, we're going to talk about a few different methods to promote on Pinterest. I'm going to show you the not so cool method that could actually get your account banned. That's the spam method. And then I'm also going to show you some legitimate ways to market on Pinterest as well. So we'll see you in the next video. Okay, welcome back. In this video, I want to talk to you about the Pinterest spam method. We're going to go over a few different ways to market on Pinterest. And as you can probably imagine, this is not the way I'm recommending that you do it. I'm just going to let you know about this. You can take this information and do what you will with it. Just fair warning, if you use this method, you most likely will end up getting your account shut down, and you have to go through the whole process of getting invited to Pinterest on another account, another email. They could even flag your IP, and I've seen this happen on Facebook. I've seen this happen on other social media. So I'm really more or less telling you this method more as a what not to do, and so you can watch out and see when other people are doing it as well, and then you can always report those people if they're extremely obnoxious and you just don't like them. So if you use this method, just know you may end up getting your account banned. It's probably not going to help you build any relationships. You may make a few sales, but at the end of the day, you know, it's great to make sales, but what we're really after is repeat customers. Okay. So the first thing you do is you'd acquire your account, and then Pinterest accounts are invite only. So if you did get your account banned, like I said, you'd have to redo it all. Okay. And then second step, you generate invites to create new accounts. Okay, so you generate lots of invites, and then just auto confirm accounts. Okay. So instead of having to individually confirm each person you've invited, you can just set it up to auto confirm everyone you invite. And then you implement auto following based on keywords. Okay, so you can create a human looking account. So then you'd post pins of product images with affiliate links built in by the hundreds, if not thousands per day. Okay, there's people that just sit around and do this. If you ever get these kinds of offers on Twitter or Facebook or in your email, then you know exactly what I'm talking about, and you probably hate them. I know I do. The most popular bot does this by searching Amazon RSS feeds by a keyword. Okay, so you'd enter MP3 player, and you'll be creating pins of iPods and Zunes in no time. Okay, so remember, this is not something I'm recommending you do. It's more of a don't do this type of stuff. Okay, don't. And in fact, I've seen several Twitter accounts get banned. Haven't seen this yet with Pinterest because it's kind of a new thing. But with Twitter, if you send someone directly to an affiliate link, typically Twitter will go ahead and ban your account for you. Okay, and without explanation. Most of the social media networks have not so great customer service, so it's really hard to get an answer as to why your account was banned. Somebody could report you as a spammer, or they could have their automated system figure it out. Either way, these aren't the best methods to use. Okay, and then you would just repost the most popular pins. Okay, and then there's a bot that simply looks at what's been most popular on Pinterest and repins that in your account, inserting your affiliate link, and then you would just keep repeating this indefinitely. Okay, so I'm not going to give you any links to these bots or any of this stuff. If you're, kind of spam savvy, then you probably already know where to go. If you don't really know, then I'll tell you right now, just don't even go this route. Okay, there was a time when this could be very profitable. There was a time when email, spam rules weren't so strict, but these social media networks they have built-in spam filters. It doesn't work anymore. If you get tempted to do this type of stuff, then just remember that with Pinterest, you have to get your account you have to get re-invited. You got to start all over from scratch. So it's better just to build quality content, put up cool pictures, build a following, and go over the techniques that we're going to talk about in the rest of this course. And then you're actually going to have followers that like and trust you and buy from you repeatedly, and you kind of build yourself a little money machine, and you do it all legit. Okay. So in the next video, if you haven't guessed already, we're going to talk about some legitimate marketing techniques that you can use that aren't spammy, that are actually going to help you start ranking and getting followers and making money on Pinterest. So we'll see you in the next video. Okay, welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about legitimate marketing techniques on Pinterest, and we're going to spread this up into two different parts. So this is part one. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to talk to you about some ways you can market and make money on Pinterest. So probably the most obvious example for a business with physical products would be to create an online catalog. So you basically use Pinterest just to post pictures of your products, okay, in an organized fashion. And Gap has treated some of their boards this way. Okay, so Gap puts their own, big companies are using Pinterest for this already. And then a jeweler might create boards for earrings, necklaces, bracelets. Okay, remember boards are just, multiple pins. And it's probably the most organic form of promotion on Pinterest as well. Organic meaning it's completely free, takes a little bit more time, but once it picks up speed, it can work out very well for you. You can use images of your physical products, inventory, and even attach a price. Okay, and then what you want to do at that point is just be sure to connect those images with the correct product description page, and you've got a natural promo. Okay, so you just connect the images to the right page and you're good to go. Then you can also create demographic-driven pin boards. Okay, so an online marketing company would create pin boards for SEO, PPC, social media, etc. But you could take this even further and really dive into your demographics. For example, you could create pin boards like this: SEO for e-commerce, SEO for blogs, PPC for direct marketers, etc. So you can niche down really deep with Pinterest. Okay, so you can just create all kinds of niched out pin boards that really appeal to different markets. Then cross promotion is also something you shouldn't forget. Cross promotion, you'll see it a lot with Facebook and Twitter. People set up their Twitter accounts, so whenever they post on Facebook, it automatically tweets and vice versa. But to get broader exposure, you should cross promote the content you publish on your blog, Facebook page, and other social media profiles on Pinterest pin boards. Okay, so whenever you upload a picture to your blog or Facebook, just set it up to where it goes to Pinterest as well. And it's kind of a no-brainer. Just be careful not to break etiquette here, okay? Too much self-promotion may just end up in your pins being ignored. Okay, so there's kind of a rule of thumb on most social media is you want to post every 3 to 5 posts. You can promote something, but within those 3 to 5 posts, you want good quality content, okay? That's going to keep people following you. It's going to keep people, not just because somebody's following you doesn't mean they're going to keep looking at your stuff, okay? They're not necessarily going to make you an authority if all you ever do is promote, okay? So every 3 to 5 and then promote, okay? And just kind of follow that pattern. So, you can put pictures with links to other blogs. You can become an aggregator where basically, it's not your content or information, but you're just linking people to other places. And even though they're going to go read or learn something else somewhere else, they're still going to credit you with the information, okay? And that's called becoming an aggregator, and that's how you really can build up expert status in any kind of social media, especially on Pinterest. And then you won't be able to start a contest directly on Pinterest, but what you can do is host one on Facebook and have contestants pin photos on Pinterest as part of the contest. Okay, so you can use Facebook to start a contest. They have a platform for that. And then your contestants would pin their photos on Pinterest. So let's say, you're doing a weight loss contest, then obviously people would pin their photos, their before and after pictures, their progress pictures on Pinterest, and that would be a part of the contest. So that's a good way to cross promote as well, as you get other people to do it for you. So that wraps it up for the first half of Pinterest marketing. In the next video, we'll talk about some other cool marketing techniques that you can implement in your Pinterest profile. So we'll see you in the next video. Okay, welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about some other Pinterest marketing techniques that you can use. So Pinterest video capabilities offer a lot of options for people that want to create tutorials or record segments of a conference that they're holding. Okay. So because of the draw of the visual element to Pinterest, I could see a content marketer like Smashing Magazine leveraging video tutorials, giving lessons on CSS and Flash design. Okay, so that's a great idea, is if you have a conference or if you're holding some kind of training, to record different parts of that, and then you can post those on Pinterest. This is actually a great idea because not everyone realizes Pinterest even has video capabilities. I showed you on the home screen they have a video link up there, but if you look at Pinterest, for the most part, people just post pictures. So it's just one more way to expand your reach and content marketing efforts. And then also use more images in your content. So adding beautiful images to your site or blog content will lend itself to being pinned. Remember, it's all about the visual. For whatever reason, content alone never has as much perceived value as visual content. Okay, so the more visual appeal you add to your content, the more opportunity you have for getting Pinterest attention. I think one reason that this is true is because there's three types of learners. There's people that are audio learners. They learn better from hearing. There's people that learn better from reading, and there's people that learn better from visual. And I think a good amount of people are very visual. Okay, so always have visuals in your always have more visuals and more appealing visuals. And then infographics are a great way to take advantage of this too. So infographics are like a graph, but it's an image. So those are great. Okay. You can show the face of your business. Okay, so here's a great way to show off those goofy pics from your company's most recent barbecue event. Use them. You can create a Faces of XYZ company board, okay, and then you can pin photos of these people for your company and show the warm side of your brand. Okay, this also helps with your company morale too. People can go on and check out, the pictures that for events they were involved in. And remember that people do business with people. Okay, so give people a chance to meet your people if you own your own company. You also tell your company's story, okay? You can do this whether or not you're an internet marketer, if you've got a brick and mortar, really doesn't matter. Just create a board that tells the story of your company and communicates your core values. Okay? You can make this board available to people as part of your sales process. It's creative and has a great opportunity to resonate with your audience. Okay, so create, connect, and cultivate relationships. All right, the 3 C's. You can also pin photos of your customers. It's a great idea. Okay, especially if say you're a personal trainer and you've got some customers that have had some great before and after pictures. With their permission, you can always promote those, post those. It's only going to promote your work. So basically, promoting your happy customers is a great way to create a positive sentiment around your brand. So encourage your customers to send you photos or take photos of them at your next event, okay? And then you can create a board of their smiling faces, perhaps using your product or service. A little product plug. Always make sure you get people's permission to do this type of stuff as well. And then it's a similar concept to showing your faces, but it's pure gold because creating a board of happy customers will build your relationship with your customers and creates a visual testimonial board. Okay? So just imagine how much this could do for your brand. Okay, so in this video we talked about some ways to use Pinterest to promote your actual business. And then in the next video we're going to talk about actually increasing your exposure on Pinterest and some great techniques and tricks to do that. So we'll see you in the next video. Okay, welcome back. In this video we're going to talk about increasing your exposure on Pinterest. So you want to completely fill out your profile. Okay, you've got an About section, so use it. It'll show up under your profile image and be one of the first introductions you get to a Pinterest visitor. So you want to add your website URL into your profile for easy access as well. So add your website URL, so the domain of your company. Then you can connect your social profiles, okay? So give people a chance to connect with you, okay? And like we were talking about before with cross-platform connections, LinkedIn is also very great for this as well, okay? So depending on what type of business relationship you have with someone on LinkedIn, you can always cross-promote with Pinterest and LinkedIn. And then pin consistently. So don't just set up a profile, pin a couple photos and let it marinate, okay? You don't want to do that, okay? Social media is all about consistently creating content and adding cool statuses and adding cool updates. So you've got to be consistently active to build your followers, okay? People will stop following you because they're going to stop getting updates, okay? They may be following you, but if you're not pinning, they're not going to see your most recent pins. People are probably not going to, unless you have a lot of credibility, go find you and go see, your old stuff, okay? You want to keep pinning. You want to keep bringing people back to your. You want to keep bringing people back to your boards. Then add descriptions to each pin. Remember to use vital keywords here. Okay, so on every pin, you want to use the right keywords that you're trying to target. Don't get all spammy. Just remember to use a keyword or two in the description. Okay, so you don't want to keyword stuff and put 1,000 keywords in, but just use 1 or 2 depending on what you're trying to target. So like I said, if you're trying to target internet marketing, then internet marketing may be a great keyword. You may want to go a little more long tail and use, internet marketing, SEO. Kind of like we talked about in the previous video, you can niche down your keywords depending on exactly what you're trying to go for. And then make sure to repin popular pins related to your market, your product, or brand. Okay, this will notify the original pinner, giving you a chance to network. Okay, so repinning other people's pins, just like on Twitter, is a great way to give value. You're basically telling that person, hey, this was great stuff, I'm going to send it to my list. You're getting them exposure, and that gives you an opportunity to, network, meet new people, and most likely, if you're pinning good content, they're going to repin your stuff as well. Okay, so you got to go first, so to speak. Repin other people's content. It's a great way to kind of take the burden off you as well, because you're not always having to deliver. You're just leveraging other people's information and sharing their stuff, and then they're going to return the favor. So remember, this is a social network. Connect with people by following them, commenting on their pins, repinning like we talked about, etc. Okay, so we talked about some ways to increase your exposure on Pinterest. In the next few videos, we're going to talk about some more advanced techniques, and then we'll see you in the next video. Okay, welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about a little PEO, or Pinterest Engine Optimization. We'll talk about how to increase your rankings and increase your followers and just increase your exposure even more. So great pins. Okay, so great pins are hot topics that are off the press. Okay, so it can be humorous, provoking pins, attention grabbing, controversial, etc. So new is great. Okay, so if it's something new that's just come up in the news, or something that is happening in the media, something funny, just something that gets your attention, these pins are going to help you. Okay, so never use wide images. There's a little secret about Pinterest. Never use wide images, but long images are great. And it's basically because the way Pinterest is laid out. Okay, so the longer is okay, don't go wide. And remember, quality and value are always going to rule on social networks. Okay, interaction, comment, repin, and like others' pins. Okay, they return the favor, as I said before. So make sure that you're interacting with other people as well as your followers. And then sustainability. You want to make sure you stay active on the site, a few minutes a day, every other day or so. Okay, so and remember, every 3 to 5 posts needs to be good quality content, repins, things like that, and then you can do a promotion every 3 to 5. Then on your profile, remember to never spam. You want to create an engaging profile and put keywords in it, but don't make it look spammy. So don't do things like stuffing keywords. Make it friendly, make it trustworthy. Use your picture, put your keywords in it, and you're going to be good to go on that. Then on your board, in your name, category, and description, you want to add keywords there as well. Okay, so target your traffic. If you're doing a niche down demographic targeting, then use your longer tail keywords. If you want to make it more broad, then use shorter keywords. Don't use 3 or 4 keywords, just use 1 or 2 and make it interesting. Okay, so it's really important. People will actually read your boards if it's interesting and relevant and not just a bunch of keywords stuffed into your description. And then for your pin, your description and exposure, hashtags, repin, like, comment. And then you always want to be asking the question, how strong is the board? Okay, so that's how you want to look at it. Make sure you're using all the elements that Pinterest allows. The more of these things you get, the stronger your pin will be, which is going to equal viral spreading and mass traffic. Okay, so this is really the important stuff when it comes to getting traffic on Pinterest. So remember, the value in Pinterest is that it's a PageRank 6 do follow link. Okay, so this can get you super exposure if your pin has valuable content. Then a couple things you want to add to your own website. You want to add follow on Pinterest button to your website, and then you can add a pin it button on your website too. Okay, so you may have been to blogs and websites where you see a Facebook button, or you see a Twitter button, or you see a Google Plus button, or even a LinkedIn button. Well, they have a Pinterest button too. So if you're on WordPress, check out the WordPress Pinterest button. Just type in Pinterest to the plugin list. If you have your own website, if you design your own website or have a designer, just have them throw in a button to follow you on Pinterest, and also a button to pin your content to their website. Okay, just like Facebook, people can like your status, they can comment on it. Pretty much the same way with Pinterest. So quick review, you want to make sure that you're pinning daily. You want to make sure you're responding to comments. You want to make sure you're repinning other people's posts. You want to make sure you're repinning other people's pins. and then you want to make sure that you're commenting on other people's pins as well. Okay. And then the best pictures to use, like I said before, infographics, slogan pictures, conveying pictures, so something that's conveying an idea or conveying something interesting. And then funny pictures are always great as well. Pictures with attractive people, obviously if you're trying to sell, obviously if you're promoting health and fitness, you're going to have people that are in good shape, people that are physically fit on your Pinterest boards. Okay, it's common sense. Alright, so we talked about some more advanced Pinterest optimization in this video. In the next video, I'm going to talk to you about actually selling with Pinterest, so we'll see you in the next video. Okay, so let's go into some more detail about selling with Pinterest. So a couple different ways you can sell on Pinterest. Affiliate marketing is great, works on social media very well. Basically, you'll just sell popular products. Okay, so you can go on clickbank.com or Commission Junction. If you're an affiliate marketer, you probably are if you're watching this video, then you can sell popular products. You can also sell rare products. Rare products equals less competition. Okay, so if you're trying to sell, a health and fitness product like the Truth About Abs, you may have a lot of other people competing with you. Although a product like that may be good for you starting out as well because the conversions are so great. But meaning if you get traffic to that product, people are typically going to buy. But hey, rare products have less competition, so it really depends on what niche you're trying to target. And just remember, the physical product you're selling should be cheaper than Walmart prices. Okay, so if you're going to be an affiliate for Amazon and you're going to sell something from Amazon on Pinterest, just remember that the price should be cheaper than somewhere they can just go and buy it at the local supermarket, or at least competitive. And then CPA, okay, you can sell popular items like iPhone. Your product should be related to your profile and boards. The good thing about CPA networks is that they give you money just for generating leads. Okay, so you don't actually have to sell. You just have to get people to fill in their information. You can learn more about CPA by going to sites like offervault.net and places like that. But CPA is great. A little bit more difficult to get accepted into a CPA network than it is to get accepted into ClickBank. But either way, it's a good option that's available to you. There's also the Pinterest shop. Okay, so you want to make sure on the Pinterest shop that you keep your board shop consistent around a topic or a theme for congruency. Okay, so don't, if you're trying to sell a health and fitness product, don't all of a sudden start talking about making money online or dating and relationship advice or building chicken coops or whatever. Just keep it consistent. You can create multiple board shops. Just make sure you keep it consistent for each one. And then mix it up. Don't make it obvious that you're just trying to make money from your audience. Okay, like I said before, you want to make sure that you're delivering compelling content. You're pinning interesting stuff. You're repinning. Okay, don't just make it all about the sales. And then remember the rule of thumb: every 3 to 5 posts, you can go ahead and try to promote, but keep your pins content oriented. And then just make sure to put your Pinterest shop in the correct category. Common sense, I know, but you'd be amazed sometimes people they overlook this step and nobody ends up finding them because they're not in the right category. You don't want that. You also want to find top influencers and follow them. Okay, repin their best pins, then copy the influencers. Just do what other people are doing. Benchmark other people's success works very well. Just look at what they're doing, how they're doing it, and when they're doing it. Okay, when people pin is very important. You may have noticed that if you post a status update on your Facebook account at some times of the night or certain times in a day when everybody's at work, maybe you don't get as much response as if you post at a time when people are all at home and they're on Facebook. And then you can add the pin it button everywhere so people can share your pins. So you can add it all over, all over your websites, everywhere like that. And then if you want the pin it button on your website, I put a link underneath this video to WordPress if you've got a WordPress site. You can just go get the plugin, or you can just go to plugins and type in Pinterest and you'll find a Pinterest button, but this is a pretty good one. Alright, so in the next few videos we're going to talk about some ninja techniques to get more followers and get more. So in the next few videos we're going to talk about some ninja techniques to get more followers and actually use Pinterest to drive traffic to your website. So we'll see you in the next video. Alright, so in this video we're going to talk about a ninja Pinterest followers technique. Okay, so this is going to get more followers. Really cool little technique here. So basically what you want to do is look for power pinners. Okay, so you follow their board and you have to be following a person for the @ trick to work. Okay, so follow a power pinner that you find, and then look for the most repinned items. Okay, and then you're going to pin those items to my board. All right. And then look for some pins that a person might like, either on Pinterest or the internet. And then create your own pin and add an @user profile name at the end of your description. So this will send him or her a message, and if they like your pin, they might even repin, and then all of their followers will see it, and you'll get massive traffic. Okay, so basically what you're going to do is you're going to look for power pinners. Okay, you're going to follow their board, and you have to be following a person for this @ trick to work. Okay, so follow the person, look for the most repinned items. Okay, look for the things they're repinning the most, and then repin it to your board. Okay. Then what you're going to do is go and look for some pins or images the person might like. Okay, so look at the repinned items, look at their most pinned items, look at their most repinned items, and then go on Pinterest or the internet and find some more like it. Then you're going to create your own pin and add an @user profile name at the end of your description. Okay, so it's @ and then their name at the end of your description. And then what this is going to do is it's going to send him or her a message, and if they like your pin, which they probably will because you based it on what they're repinning and what they're pinning, then what they'll do is repin, and then all of her followers are going to see it, and you'll get massive traffic this way. Okay, so this is kind of the next level of repinning and reciprocity and all that. So basically, real quick, you're just going to go on, find a power pinner, somebody that pins a lot, see exactly what they're pinning, what they're repinning, repin that to your board, and then go find some other pins that are pretty similar, you think they might like it, put the @user profile name at the end of your description, and then when you pin it, it's going to send them a message, and then they're going to repin, and then all of their followers are going to see it. Okay, so this is a great technique to get tons of followers really quickly on your Pinterest account. Okay, in the next video, we're going to talk about a really cool Pinterest traffic technique to get more traffic to your site from Pinterest. So we'll see you in the next video. Okay, welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about a ninja Pinterest traffic technique to actually get traffic back to your website from Pinterest. So what you're going to do is, if you have a website where you're selling something, or you've got a product, or you've got even if it's an information product, just make sure you have an image on your site that describes the product along with the description. So if you've got a blog post and you're writing a review, you want to make sure you have the image of the ebook or the product you're selling, and you want to install the pin button on your site. So we've talked about the pin button a little bit throughout this course. You can get it at WordPress if you've got a WordPress blog, or you can go to Pinterest and get the pin button, and then you just have to install it manually on your site if that's what you're doing. But you're essentially going to pin the site. You're essentially going to pin the image to one of your Pinterest boards, okay? And then in the pin, you're also going to put your keywords, but you're also going to put your URL to get people to click and go to your site. Just remember not to pick your root domain, okay? You don't want it just to be the root domain of your site. You want it to be the domain that actually takes them to the specific post that has the content that they searched for on Pinterest. So people are going to search for something on Pinterest. It's going to show up on your board. They're going to see your picture. They're going to like it. They're going to click on the link. They're going to go back to your site. But you want to make sure if you've got multiple products that you don't just go to the main homepage of the site. You want to go right back to exactly where that product is, because there's nothing more frustrating than going to Google and typing in a question, and you see the question there in Google, and then you try to go follow it, and it takes you to a forum where there's all these questions and you can't even find it, okay? You may have noticed that with products as well, that sometimes you go back to the home page and you can't even find what you're looking for. So remember, use the right domain and put it in your pin, and then link your pin to the actual page of your site that your related content's on, okay? Very simple. Just remember to do that step, and it's going to work wonders for you. This is also really going to help you in the search engines as well, because the more traffic you can get to specific posts and specific pages, the better you're going to help those pages rank. So then when you put your link in, it's going to be hyperlinked, and people will be able to click the link and go right to that site and right to that page. And then you're also going to put the keywords in as well. So whatever keywords people search for to find your pin and your board in the first place, those are what you're going to include in the pin. You're also going to include the picture. You're also going to include the hyperlink so they can go right back to your site. And voila, you've got instant traffic from Pinterest. And the cool thing about it is it's kind of like Google Images. You know, if you search for something in Google, then you can click images, and you can click on an image to actually go to the destination of the image. But Pinterest is kind of like a shorthand to that. Okay, so people can, search for stuff on Pinterest. They can see an image, and then if you've optimized it correctly, and if you use this technique, there will be a link there where they can go right back to your website. Okay, so it's just kind of like a hidden trust there. Okay, people trust Pinterest, so they're going to click on the picture, which will take them to your site. You're going to have instant credibility. Okay, so I hope you like that technique. Go ahead and set up your Pinterest account and then start using some of these techniques to increase your exposure and optimize Pinterest. Remember to keep posting. Remember to be consistent. Don't spam, and always keep the focus on offering quality content and reciprocating and repinning and communicating and networking with other pinners. And we look forward to your success, and we'll talk soon.